All right, let's go ahead and get things started. Thanks so much to those of you who have logged in to join us today for today's Traveling Gamecocks event. We are kicking this series off with our travel partner, Gohagan Company. So I'm very excited to get to introduce you to our host today, but just a couple of housekeeping reminders before we get started. Today, we're on a webinar format versus a meeting. So while we can't see or hear you guys, we do want this to be interactive. So if you have questions throughout the event, you can type them into the chat or into the Q&A box, and we'll make sure we get all of those addressed at the end. If you aren't super familiar with Zoom, there should be a little toolbar across the bottom of your screen. So you can either click that chat or that Q&A and type your questions or comments in there as we get going. But other than that, I'm going to pass things over to Erin. She is our travel representative at Gohagan Company, and she is going to walk you through our 2024 offerings as well as some sneak preview of 2025. So thank you, Erin.
Thanks, Haven. Good morning, good afternoon, good day. I'm really excited to be on the meeting today to not only introduce you to Gohagan if you're not familiar with our company and what we do, but also talk to you a little bit about the amazing travel programs that we're partnering with USC Alumni on in 2024. And then I also have a sneak peek of programs that we'll be offering in 2025 as well. So we have a wonderful lineup of programs to share with you today. So I hope you're ready to just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy our time kind of venturing around the world. Gohagan is a company that's over 40 years old. We have travel programs on all 7 continents. We had our first travel program depart about a week ago in Antarctica, and we're getting amazing reviews back. So it's the start of the new calendar year, and we're just so excited to be a part of the alumni associations and affinity groups. Gohagan is the leader in luxury small ship cruises via ocean and river. And so those programs make up about 75% of our business. And so we are so proud to be the most exclusive charterer of small ocean ships. And because we charter ocean vessels and river ships, it means we can control the itinerary, we curate itineraries, and we also select the clients that we invite on our programs. Like we partner with USC, and we have many other alumni associations that we partner with as well. But our product is not open to the open market. It's basically based on who we're partners with and then via who they open the programs to. So I'm so thankful to be on the call today to get an opportunity to meet with all of you and talk a little bit about how we're special and the amazing trips that we have to offer. I have a little video here that I want to show to you today that explains who we are and what we do. So I've got the sound pulled up. You should be able to hear this fine.
With over 40 years of experience in the travel industry, Gohagan has earned a reputation for excellence in providing unique and unforgettable travel experiences to its clients. At Gohagan, we believe that travel involves more than just visiting a destination. It's about gaining a deeper understanding of the world around us. Our aim is to create experiences that will immerse you in the beauty, culture, and history of the destination, pique your intellectual curiosity, provide insight not found on any other travel program, inspire you to look at the world in a new way, and foster meaningful interaction with the local community and other travelers. We are committed to making your travel experience stress-free and unforgettable. Our expert team curates world-class, all-inclusive journeys for you end-to-end. Once you book your spot, we take care of everything else. Gohagan Company is proud to provide the most exclusively chartered ships in affinity travel, the ideal way to explore the destinations on our one-of-a-kind itineraries. The 5-star ships we charter for our ocean cruises and deluxe, small river ships, used on our other programs, provide access to ports often inaccessible to larger vessels. Exclusively chartered cruising provides the optimum setting for affinity groups. There is control over the entire ship. We hand select the associations invited to sail with us. You'll feel a true sense of comfort and community traveling with members of your group and the other lifelong learners on board. We look forward to having you join us on one of our exceptional programs, covering a wide range of destinations across the globe.
Great. Well, thank you for that. We'll go ahead and move into our 2024 programs that we have available. Let me move forward here. I'm going to exit out of this and go into talking a little bit about our itineraries and our programs as far as what is included. In the video, they talked a little bit about kind of like the immersive itineraries, the small ship luxury experience. But really, our programs are special because we offer enrichment opportunities. I don't know if you saw in the video, we had Dwight David Eisenhower, the grandson of President Eisenhower, on a couple of our programs. Kim Fook was also featured in the video, and she was a little girl photographed fleeing Vietnam during the napalm strike. We also have Jim Lowry. So we have a lot of amazing featured guest speakers on our itineraries as well. Our programs are very small. So our ocean vessels, when we're on programs, for our ocean trips, they're going to be about 200 passengers at the most. River ships, you're looking at about 140 passengers at most. And some of our land programs are going to be about 40 passengers most. So our programs are very small, very intimate. And then with the intellectual and inspiring speakers combined with, traveling with other alumni associations, it really gives you an opportunity for a small group setting while you're traveling. So you can share a trip of a lifetime with others in that small group atmosphere. When we talk about our programs, it is all inclusive. You have access to the guest lecturers. Because our ships are smaller that we're using, we can go into smaller ports of call that the larger cruise ships aren't able to get into. So our itineraries are really unique. You'll see that especially on our Greece itinerary, we're going to Patmos and some of those smaller areas that the larger ships can't get into. We have our own Gohagan travel directors with years and years of experience traveling the world who accompany our passengers on the trip to make sure that everything goes seamlessly. So in addition to the passenger, the crew and the staff on the ship, we have our Gohagan travel directors. We also, like I said before, we curate our own itineraries and work with local guides for excursions. And so all of our excursions are also included in our pricing, as well as alcohol beverages, wine, coffee, non-alcoholic beverages, gourmet cuisine. We have captain's welcome and farewell receptions. If there's a large enough group, we'll host a private cocktail reception. Wi-Fi, hospitality desk, gratuities also included, luggage handling, transfers all included, and then we'll have audio headsets. So the only thing that is not included in our price is air. We do have an air department that can book your air reservations for you, but that is the only thing that is not included in our price. Moving on into kind of our available programs in 2024, we're starting off in May. We have a couple trips already running right at the beginning of the year. I was on a call earlier this week with Haven and some other traveling Gamecocks who are on our Northern Lights and Iceland program, which we will be offering in 2025 as well. And it's been one of our most popular programs. There's a very large USC group going, spread out across multiple dates. So that's been very popular. Again, we'll be offering that in 2025, but moving into 2024 and what we still have available, we have an Ireland and Northern Ireland Emerald Isle cruise in May. It's 8 nights on a 5-star luxury cruise and you circumnavigate Ireland up to Northern Ireland. And there's many opportunities on this program to visit some of the most beautiful sites in Ireland. You'll get to visit the Blarney Castle, kiss the famous Blarney Stone, go to the Bantry House, the Kilmore Abbey and Gardens, and really spectacular gardens on Garnish Island. We also on our programs visit quite a few UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and one of those on this program is St. Fiona's Monastery. You'll have an opportunity to tour Northern Ireland, the city of Belfast, and then we have optional pre and post programs that you can join, where we visit Dublin in advance of the main program, and then County Kilney at the end of the main program, moving into the post program. As far as the ship, the Explorers One is newly constructed, it's sleekly appointed, and it's an intimate small ship. Like I said before, that can navigate some of those smaller ports inaccessible to larger ships. There are only 72 suites and staterooms on this program, so you're looking at about 140, 150 passengers at most. So oftentimes on our programs, the crew and the ship crew and the staff compared to the passenger, you're looking at about a 1 to 1.5 ratio. These rooms are going to feature stunning ocean views, and most include a private balcony. Again, all meals are included while on the ship, as is beverages, coffee. When we move into talking about the itinerary, it is 10 days, and we built in unique opportunities along this cruise to visit locals. So you'll visit the Cliffs of Moher and the Burin with a local expert who's passionate about preservation of the landscape. You'll tour a goat cheese farm on the troubles of Northern Ireland. But you can kind of see the 10-day itinerary, fly into Dublin, and then we visit different stops every day. So you unpack, and you're able to get to many different destinations while you're on a 10-day itinerary. So it's an opportunity to see a lot of different sites in Ireland and Northern Ireland. Like I mentioned before, we have excursions to the Blarney Castle, County Cork. We have a driving tour of Cork City, visit the Blarney Castle, see the beautiful seaside of Kinsale, which and also the Cliffs of Moher, which I'm showing here as well. We also, like I said before, we have a lot of scenic drives planned. You'll go along the famous Dingle Peninsula. You'll get to see the inland Stone Age and basically beautiful green grass, and an opportunity to see some bird life, some puffins. So this is a fantastic itinerary. The Giant's Causeway we have on this tour as well, and also include a visit to the Titanic Quarter and the Queen Victoria Botanic Gardens. We also will have lunch at a local pub. Like I said before, taste goat cheese, sip several different varieties of whiskey. We'll have a whiskey tasting, and then you can also relax during an afternoon with tea and scones, and try mead, which is like a fermented honey at a local business. And then moving into the post and pre-program, I have that noted here as well. If these are options that you wanted to add onto your trip, you can do that in front of or behind the program. But it gives you an opportunity to really enjoy either the pre-city that you're flying into or the post-city. I really do recommend getting in a little bit early if you can on some of these itineraries, so you can get settled in should you have any flight troubles, and also gives you time to adjust to the time change. One of my personal favorite programs is Island Life Greek Isles. This program is running in October. This is an amazing opportunity to see the Greek Isles. I recommend, if you want to go to Greece, cruising is the way to see as much as you possibly can, because each island is so very different. And the views are breathtaking, all the way from Athens to Delos to Santorini. My personal favorite is Rhodes. It's a medieval city. We also visit Kusadasi, so you're going to get an opportunity to visit Turkey as well. And then we have a pre-program Athens and then a post-program in Delphi. This program runs on Penat Les Bougainville. So we partner with Penat in quite a few of our programs. It's a French company, French crew and staff, very beautiful ships, 92 suites and staterooms. All suites have a private balcony, which gives you an opportunity to kind of sit out there and drink your coffee. But it's a beautiful time of year to go to Greece. The weather is fantastic. It's not too hot. The tourism is kind of slowed down a little bit, so it's not as busy. The Penat ships are absolutely amazing. The cuisine is French, very, very delicious from the morning to the evening. It has 2 restaurants, 3 bars, cocktail areas. This is the Blue Eye here. You can see that I'm showing where it's a cocktail area that goes underneath the ship, with the eye to see outside of the ship. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to see Greece. I really recommend this. If you haven't been to Greece or you are looking to go, this is a trip of a lifetime. When we talk about the itinerary, you'll embark in Athens. Again, you can go in early. We do have a pre-program in Athens. When you embark the ship, we're going to go from Athens to visit Volos and Meteora, which is actually this image that I had here at the beginning. You'll visit to the monastery, which is a beautiful UNESCO inscribed monastery up at the top of a cliff. So we take a charter bus all the way up there. It's an amazing view. We move on to Delos and Mykonos, Kusadasi, Patmos, Rhodes, and then Santorini, and then back to Athens upon your return. We visit 6 UNESCO World Heritage sites. You're hitting some of the beautiful known islands like Mykonos and Santorini, but Patmos is very, very special, as is Rhodes. It's very medieval. It's a walled city. It's a UNESCO World Heritage site as well. We visit Delos, the birthplace of Artemis and Apollo. And then in Turkey, you'll see the archaeological sites of Greek and Roman Byzantine ruins, which is absolutely breathtaking. When we dock in Rhodes, like I said before, it is a walled city, and we will actually go to see the Acropolis in Lindos. It's a bus ride, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's less crowded than the Acropolis in Athens. I found this to be absolutely breathtaking. You can walk around. The crowds in Athens at the Acropolis can be sometimes overwhelming, but this is a little bit more off the beaten path. Not everybody can get to Rhodes to see this. It's absolutely beautiful. We also visit Patmos, which is another small island that not a lot of the larger ships can get into. But we visit the monastery of St. John and the cave where he had the revelation of the apocalypse. And so it's an amazing itinerary. This is, like I said before, one of my personal favorites. We have an Athens, pre, and a Delphi post if you wanted to extend your trip. Moving on to Christmas. Seems too early to be talking about Christmas, but this program was one of our best sellers in 2023. We have a couple departures. South Carolina is sponsoring our December 6th through 14th program. I expect this program to sell out. It's a 7-night river cruise, and what makes our program unique is we're going to Germany and Austria along the Danube. But if you're into the Christmas spirit and wanting to feel the festiveness of the season, I really recommend this magnificent program. You're visiting Christmas markets along the Danube. It's very festive, a lot of Christmas lights, ornaments, wooden toys, gingerbread, mulled wine. It's a great way to get into the holiday season. We have a pre-program in Vienna and then a post-program in Bavaria. You'll begin, or I guess embark the program on our Amadeus Queen, which is the exclusive chartered deluxe riverboat and features all of the comforts of a refined and traditional hotel. So it has 72 stylish staterooms and suites. So it's a small riverboat, about 150 passengers, and it provides a lot of space for most of the European riverboats. Suites include private balconies, and then select staterooms feature floor-to-ceiling windows that lower into the French balcony with the push of a button. So as far as the itinerary, right, you will actually arrive into Vienna, and then we have stops along the way throughout the itinerary. But really, each market that you're going to be visiting is in unique locations in historic towns near cathedrals or old town halls that really bring out the best of the holidays. Like I said before, you know, it's an opportunity for you to collect souvenirs, purchase locally handmade items, bring back something special for family or friends. You know, you'll get to enjoy a lot of holiday treats, like chocolates, gingerbread, roasted chestnuts, mulled wine, hot chocolate, cookies, sausages. So it's a wonderful way to experience the holiday spirit. We will also visit the largest Christmas market in Austria, and then we'll also visit Nuremberg, which has the largest Christmas market in Europe. So you'll have a lot of opportunity to see some amazing sights. Again, pre is in Vienna. I think I had it wrong on the initial slide. Post is in Munich. So again, a fantastic way to extend your itinerary. For a sneak peek of 2025, Haven and I have been working together on curating a wonderful program in 2025. And so while these programs aren't necessarily available for sale, if you see one and you're interested, we'd be happy to put you on the list. So when they do become available for sale, we can call you right away. We anticipate that the programs will be ready to sell in March of 2024. So here in probably about 6 weeks. But we have Haven selected a really great lineup of trips in 2025. The first one that starts off in 2025 will be Tanzania during the Great Migration. This program sold out for us in 2024. It's an amazing bucket list trip. It's 12 days, 11 nights. We limit this trip to 36 people, and we have 6 passenger vehicles in open air. You're going to be visiting the Serengeti during the height of the Great Migration, when 1.5 million wildebeest migrate in an enormous loop every year, and it's really the most active game prey places on the planet during this time. Because of the wildebeests, you know, coming to this area, it attracts a lot of the big 5 that we talk about, with cheetahs and giraffe and baby elephants and lions. But the vastness of the Serengeti is truly incredible, and you'll see an amazing amount of lion prides. It's also a birder's paradise. When we talk to our travel directors who go all over the world, they always talk about this trip being like one of their favorites because of all of the amazing wildlife that they see. You'll be staying at a 5-star luxury resort, and we also stay in a tented lodge where you have your own beautiful and luxurious tent upon wood-raised platforms. You have a private terrace. You might even wake up to a zebra or a giraffe or a gazelle or a warthog at your doorstep. So all tents have lovely bathrooms and showers. So it's an amazing way to see this part of the world. We also support a primary school in this area for over 20 years. So we also respect the local culture as well. We have an optional hot air balloon ride where you can float over the Serengeti. And then we have actually on this program, when I talk about Plus Air, we have a flight built into this program that is included in the price. Flights to and from the Serengeti are included. It's the US to Arsha that is not included. So when you're flying home to the destination, that's not included. But when there is air included in the program, it's covered at the cost of the program. Moving on to Tahiti, this trip is actually running for us beautifully right now in 2024. I'm so jealous that we have people visiting these beautiful areas here in the Midwest. It's gray and cold. So if you're looking for a warm getaway next February, Tahiti is a fantastic place to consider. The water's so blue and so clear. This program runs 11 days, 10 nights. It is on a beautiful Windstar sailing yacht, 5-star sailing yacht. It holds 100 and it has actually 156 cabins. So the ship is a little bit larger in that it accompanies 312 guests. So it's a little bit larger, but it was voted the world's best mid-size ocean ship by Travel and Leisure in 2022. Tahiti is sold out for us the last 3 years. So if you're interested in this and it's something that you want to consider, definitely make sure you sign up for it early, as space will go quickly. But everybody loves white sandy beaches, turquoise lagoons, coral atolls. We have volcanic mountain peaks on this. We also offer complimentary water sports equipment, snorkeling gear, paddle boards, kayaks. There's a water trampoline, a sailboat, and foam flotation magic carpet. So it gives you an opportunity to see a lot of, or actually do a lot of water sports from the ship. We're going to be visiting multiple islands, including Bora Bora. With Tahiti, we do have some optional excursions that you could purchase at an additional cost if you preferred. We do a 4x4 tour of Moorea. You can harvest your own pearl by diving for your own Tahitian black pearl. We visit a vanilla plantation. There's more snorkeling. We do a snorkeling safari, a stingray encounter in Bora Bora, jet skiing, which is one of my favorite things to do in some of these warmer climates. And then we have a Moorea post program with the overwater bungalows that you can see here with the private sun deck, lagoon, and island views. So it's a fantastic winter getaway that's done wonderful for us the last few years. Moving on to tulip time in April, Holland and Belgium along the Dutch waterways. This program runs 9 days, 7 nights, and it will be on a brand new river ship in 2025 called Scylla. It's a Swiss river ship company with 95 cabins. It's luxurious, modern. It'll be a brand new ship. But it is round trip from one of my favorite cities, Amsterdam. You'll have private canal cruises in Amsterdam to cruise along the charming canals. It's very picturesque. If you haven't been to Amsterdam, if you haven't been to Europe, I strongly recommend putting Amsterdam on your list. It is at the height of tulip time, so you'll admire the colorful tulips at Keukenhof Gardens. This is really a true highlight of the trip. These beautiful gardens are only open every year in April and May with about 90 bulb growing companies, and there are over 7 million bulbs planted in a special way. So it's truly beautiful at every turn this time of year in this part of the world. There are 10 miles of trails of colorful tulips and other spring flowers. We'll also visit the Kröller-Müller Museum, which is the second largest collection of Van Gogh paintings and drawings. We have shore excursions in Antwerp, Rotterdam, Veer, and Nijmegen. And then we have a walking tour in Antwerp, which is the largest city in Belgium. And we have an Amsterdam pre-program and a Hague post-program. So This is a wonderful, wonderful cruise if you haven't been to Europe and you're looking to try something new, or if you haven't been to Amsterdam, the time of year is absolutely beautiful. Moving into April of 2025, we'll be visiting Lisbon to Barcelona. This 10-day, 8-night cruise is on the Atlas World Navigator. It is a new ocean vessel. Haven and I were actually on the World Navigator in October visiting Spain. Excuse me. It's a beautiful, beautiful luxury ship. It's very Epicurean in nature. The food is absolutely wonderful. They strive for culinary excellence. They provide the best menu, and they also cater to local cuisine. So on this particular program, we'll go from Lisbon, Portugal, where we hug the south and eastern coastlines of Spain, to Barcelona. We visit rocky coves and cliffs and sandy beaches, inlets, coastal mountains, and islands. Excuse me. So you get to take advantage of visiting really 2 continents on this trip. We spend a day in Tangier, Morocco, on a guided walking tour and meet with locals to learn about Moroccan weaving and spices. We visit the caves of Hercules. You'll see Cape Spartel, where the Atlantic meets the Mediterranean Sea. Excuse me.
Erin, I can step in for a minute and just say that this ship was so beautiful. And we got to visit a lot of these places when Erin and I were in Spain on another travel program last October. So I cannot recommend enough the World Navigator or this itinerary as well.
Thank you, Haven. I appreciate that. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. We have a Lisbon pre and a Barcelona post. What you see here is the Sagrada Familia. It's absolutely breathtaking. So if you're considering this part of the world, this is a fantastic program to see everything. Moving into June 2025, we'll be visiting the Italian Riviera, Tuscany, Cinque Terre, and the Amalfi Coast. We have special guest speaker Dwight David Eisenhower on this itinerary. His wife, Julie Nixon Eisenhower, who's the daughter of former President Nixon, accompanies him on our trip. So you'll have an opportunity to meet with Eisenhower and experience the history of the region. He will present 2 lectures, and we'll also visit, we'll have a special visit to the World War II Sicily, Rome American Cemetery and Memorial with them. So it's a fantastic way to really learn about World War II during this particular part of the program. And then another kind of special feature of this is on this Gohagan only itinerary, we do 2 full days and nights on the stunning Amalfi Coast. We're going to visit Pompeii, the colorful towns of Sorrento and Positano, and the scenic Isle of Capri. We have a Rome pre-program here where we will stay at the Westin and visit the Colosseum, the Forum, the Vatican, the Spanish Steps, the Trevi Fountain. So this is a fantastic program featuring Eisenhower at a really great price point for all of the amazing sites you're going to see. Croatia, so we have Dubrovnik to Venice, featuring special guest speaker Jim Lowry. If you're not familiar with Jim, he was a news correspondent back on NBC, an award-winning news correspondent during Vietnam. So we have him featured as a guest speaker during this itinerary. But this coast features the Croatian coast, which really offers stunning views of the Adriatic Sea. We visit charming coastal towns and historic cities. But Dubrovnik is a beautiful city. We have time on the itinerary. While you arrive in Dubrovnik, you'll have a chance to venture into the old town and see the stunning architecture. This is actually where Game of Thrones was filmed. So if you're into Game of Thrones, this was actually a site. So it's a very, very beautiful city. I think it's becoming more popular as of the last couple of years. So we will also visit Istria, which is Croatia's truffle capital. And it's home to some of the world's most finest truffles. So you'll be able to learn about the process of truffle hunting, which also includes a dog hunt with your time in Pula. And we have a Dubrovnik pre and then a Venice post program. Northern Lights in Iceland. We're bringing this back in 2025. It's a land program. Haven will actually be on this trip in a couple weeks, so she can tell you all about it when she gets back. But it's a fantastic way to see the Northern Lights. 9 days, 7 nights. Fly into Reykjavik, spend 3 nights in Reykjavik, and then travel up further north to Akiri, which is Iceland's second city, where there's less light pollution. You're actually going to be 40 kilometers south of the Arctic Circle, where there's less light pollution and more of an opportunity to see the bright northern lights. And then you spend one final night back in Reykjavik. You'll have a chance to visit the Blue Lagoon, visit the Golden Circle, and see all of those amazing sights in Reykjavik while you're there. All right, last but not least, let me get a drink of water here. I do this much talking. The last program is Patagonia and the Chilean Fjords. This is going to be in November, 12 days, 9 nights. Excuse me. You'll be 2 nights in Santiago, 3 nights in Puerto Natales, and then a 4-night cruise. But we have a lot of special excursions planned. You're going to be visiting the Torres del National Park, which is known for its dramatic landscapes. It's truly, truly beautiful. You'll see the Magellan penguins in Tucker Island, the eagles, the condors, southern elephant seals, and more, excuse me. And then we have an Easter Island pre-program and a Buenos Aires and a Guzu Falls post program. So a lot of amazing things to see on this program. And that concludes our 2025 sneak peek. I don't know that I could have gone through another one, Haven. So I will end it at that. Do you have any questions?
Well, thank you, Erin.
Yeah.
We made her work hard today with all that chatting. Gohagan is the partner that we put on the most trips with. So Erin had a tough job of talking through a lot in 2024 and in 2025. And there was a question earlier about what's the difference between today's event and some of our upcoming events. So we have 4 travel partners. So each one will have the opportunity to host an event like this and showcase the trips we have offered. So today was all of our trips with Gohagan. I had a fantastic experience when I traveled with them and loved getting to work with them. So I know that they put out really great products for you all. As Erin mentioned, we've got lots of Gamecocks going on, a couple different departures. Some time to put questions into the chat or into the Q&A if you have any questions at all. And then I'll put my email in the chat as well. So you all can email me if you have questions about this afterwards. Before we go, we're going to do a drawing for some travel vouchers, but I did just want to note too that we've recorded today's session. So if there is a trip you saw that you were interested in and you want to go and talk to your family or your friends about it, by the end of the week, you guys will have an email with the link to this recording as well. So you can find information there. You can find things on our travel website. So I'll put both of that and my email in the chat for you guys to be able to note. I'll do that really quick. You guys can put any questions you have in the Q&A, and then we will get to the drawing for the vouchers. I know you guys are excited for that. All right, so my email's in the chat, and I'm Haven. And then let me put our travel website in the chat for you all as well, so you can have that saved. 2025 will be added soon, but you can go ahead and see our 2024 offerings. And I've got y'all's names written out on little slips of paper. So I've been taking note of who's here. Everyone's on paper. So let me just stick you in the bowl. But we have 2 opportunities to win a $500 voucher for a trip with Gohagan on one of our traveling Gamecocks trips. So they were very generous in that. I want to make sure we give them a good thank you, but got to mix up my bowl.
We need a drum roll.
I know. All right.
Plan for that.
First winner here. Let's make sure. Yes, they're still there. All right. Cindy, you are the winner of our
Yay.
first $500 voucher. So we'll make sure to
Congratulations.
send you an email about this as well with the email you registered for this event. So make sure you keep an eye on that. And our next one is Carol. So
Yay.
congrats, Carol. You both will be getting that travel voucher, and I'll be reaching out to you guys via email. So definitely take a look at these trips. That's a very generous offer by Gohagan. So thank you, Erin, to you and your
team. Thank you for joining, and please reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns.